And that affair led to 2, and led to 3, led to 5, led to 10, led to 20.
Wow.
And then I started chatting online with people that were part of sex groups.
And then it all changes.
Yeah, I had a conversation that went completely wrong, and just the way I was so delved into this adult life, I just made a couple of bad choices, and I ended up getting arrested, and I ended up doing time.
And they lock you up because of sexual wrongdoing.
Right, exactly.
And what was it like that day when you first walked into prison?
Well, they led me to my cell, and I had my bag of stuff over my shoulder, and they shut the door behind me, and there was nothing in the room. There was just a bed, a toilet, a closet, and a desk. And I put the duffel bag down, and I sat down on the desk and put my head in my hands and thinking, what have I done? And I just happened to look up, and sitting on the desk right in front of me is one of those Gideon's New Testaments with the Proverbs and some. And I picked that up, and I opened it up, and you remember the old Verizon wireless commercial with the guy going, "Can you hear me now?"
Yeah.
I started reading my Bible, and I heard this voice that just said, "Can you hear me now?" And I broke down and started crying.
And that was God speaking to you.
It was God speaking to me.
Joe, can you hear me now? Can you see where your life has led?
Exactly.
And so, Joe, you spent 3 years of your life in prison, and it was in prison that you found Christ.
I knew what I was doing was wrong, but I just couldn't fix myself. Fortunately, it took me to go to prison to figure this out, but I knew that right then that I needed Christ in my life. It might seem hard to believe, but I know that He's forgiven me, and that His grace is watching over me, and that through Him, all things are possible.
And what have you learned on the back side of all of this?
I've learned that love is not sex, and sex is not love. That sex is actually a gift from God used to validate a married relationship, and is not just the sole basis of a relationship. And the other thing too is the most important part of any relationship is communication. You can't fill gaps in your life with quick fixes. I tried to pacify mine with porn and meaningless sex. Other people might use TV, alcohol, pills, drugs, or whatever, but communication is the key to any type of successful relationship.
Yeah, you have to learn to talk it through.
Yes, looking back at the mistakes that I made and how I messed up my life, I've learned that that is the key. The communication wasn't there.
And what have you learned, finally, about the grace and goodness of God to you?
The God was trying to get my attention. I think He took a step back and let me do what I was doing because He knew that that was going to be the only way that He was going to get my attention. And that's exactly what happened. The thing is that even after ignoring Him for all the years and all the horrible things that happened in my life, that He had forgiven me and He had welcomed me back with open arms, like the parable of the lost son in Luke chapter 15. I didn't deserve it, but I'm so very thankful that He has. I tried it my way without Him, and I failed miserably, obviously. I was at rock bottom, and He reached out to me with open arms and said those 5 words, "Can you hear me now?" I may not have all the answers, but the Bible says, if He is with me, who can be against me? And I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Sure, I lost my job, my house, my wife, my freedom, my friends. But I now have a personal relationship with Christ. His grace and mercy have already made big changes in my life. He's given me love and mercy that I don't deserve. He's given me a great church family to be a part of. God has been more than good to me.